Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Seems Legal for Sporting News. I am here with Fraser Stewart, the guardian of the laws at the MCC and an explainer of all the mysteries of cricket. Thanks for joining us, Fraser. We've got a great one today that has caused quite a bit of controversy, not just now, but in the past year or so. It seems to be happening more and more in cricket, and that is the waist-high no ball.
So this came out during the first ODI between Australia and England. So England were chasing, and it was Talia McGrath bowling to Amy Jones, and she bowled a ball that was borderline no ball, a waist-high full toss. Jones hit it out to the sort of deep square leg boundary where Elise Perry caught it. You know, it was obvious going to be borderline, and so the umpires referred it to the TV, and it took quite a long time for the third umpire to try to make a call because it's quite difficult. The ball was dipping, it was obviously losing momentum, so the ball was dipping. Amy Jones had her feet were more or less around the popping crease, but she was hitting the ball out in front of her, so probably the contact between bat and ball would have been about a yard or so in front of the popping crease, so the ball still had that distance to travel. And the law here, law 41.7.1, says that the defining moment is the waist height of the striker standing upright at the popping crease, and so the third umpire had to try to discern how much the ball would have dipped in that last part. And the third umpire, she felt that it would have dipped enough, and so therefore it was a fair delivery, and therefore that Jones was out.
This one did cause quite a stir on commentary on social media, as did one when Australian women were playing India last year, and that was actually really a crucial one. It was on the last ball. Julian Goswami was bowling to Nicola Carey, and she was caught. But then it was ruled that was indeed a no ball. And India were already celebrating the win at that point. And in the end, there was another delivery bowled and Australia got 2 runs and won the game. So these things do tend to cause a lot of controversy. And one of the things I wanted to ask you, I have a couple about it, is how do you define someone's waist? Because some people have said, look, if you're wearing, your shirt tucked out, or if you like to wear your trousers down on your hips, how is it defined in the laws of the game?
Yeah, so a definition was put in fairly recently, actually, in the appendix, in Appendix 6.7, which says, for the purposes of these laws, waist height is defined as the point at which the top of the batter's trousers would conventionally be when she is standing upright at the popping crease.
I can see this changing cricket fashion to a point where everyone's wearing low-rise trousers in cricket just to lower their waist. I know you've had some people suggest to you that maybe there should be something then that's finite. So, for example, the height of the stumps. But that doesn't take into account, I guess, the whole reason for having the law in the first place, does it?
Correct. Yeah, the whole point of this law is to protect the batters. And obviously, if you had a certain height, which some people have suggested that the height of the stumps would make sense, then obviously the height of the stumps for a smaller player like Sachin Tendulkar or Sonny Gavaskar would be very different to a Joel Garner or Jason Holder. Now,
one of the other things I saw floating around, I saw several stills. Basically, the image was frozen at the point of contact between the bat and the ball, but that doesn't take into account the trajectory of it, does it?
No, it doesn't. And this is, again, a problem where it is quite difficult for the bowlers, and it's one where I think in the professional game where everything is being done to try and get the decisions correct as often as possible, that technology could lend a hand. We have ball tracking, and as I say, the ball must be dipping if it's a full toss, it must be on its way down from the bowler's where the bowler has released the ball, and so that there will be, and there normally is, a distance to travel because the batter may have met it out in front of him or her. And so there will be a dipping. That will obviously depend on the speed of the ball. With a spinner, a slow bowler, the ball will be dipping faster than with a faster bowler. And so the umpire has to try to take that into account. And again, I think with the ball tracking technology, it would not be that difficult. Before any player makes their debut, or when this rule came in, they could quite easily measure the height of a batter standing upright at the crease, so that they know that Joe Root, for example, is 1 metre 10 centimetres or whatever, 110 centimetres. Zach Crawley would be more than that, and they know exactly where that person's waist height is. They know exactly where the popping crease is, and the ball tracking could fairly quickly be loaded up, probably quicker than it would take to look at all the replays like we had in the ODI.
Look, you are guardian of the laws at MCC. You guys are quite influential over there. Has the idea of using Hawkeye been brought up with the ICC, and is there a possibility that we might see that come into the game?
It's something that our MCC's World Cricket Committee has discussed and has sort of recently raised this with ICC as a possible solution. Remember, it could also, exactly the same technology and process could be used for judging bouncers as well. Obviously, a ball that goes over the head height of the batter in law is a no ball. In ICC playing conditions is a wide, if the batter obviously doesn't get any bat on it. So again, the same technology could be used in those situations to help judge wides, and so I think it's something that ICC we hope will look at. It should be relatively straightforward, and I think it could help speed things up, given the length of time that some of these reviews take, and that's obviously a good thing with obviously a lot of people scrutinising over rates and the pace of play.
Well, so I'm taking from this that we might see some change in this. It's certainly going to be one for discussion, and also that players should pull their pants down a little bit, sort of hip hop style. I don't know if we're
not too far, hopefully.
Definitely not too far. Fraser, thank you so much for explaining all of that beautifully and simply for nuffies or for muppets like me, so that even I can understand. I hope everyone out there, you've enjoyed this too. And don't forget, there's a huge amount of e-learning you can do about the laws of cricket that the MCC has put together as a terrific resource. So you can go to the link that you can see there on the screen and check out the laws yourself. Do send us your ideas if you want to know anything about the laws of cricket. We've had some really good ones coming in. If you see anything around, even something that happens in club cricket or local cricket, and you'd really like to understand it better, do just leave it in the comments. Send us a line on Twitter and we'll do our best to answer it for you. And in the meantime, I hope you enjoy your cricket.